Yo, what's going on guys? In today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to count your opponent's Elixir in Clash Royale. Elixir counting can be a bit tricky to learn, so I've broken it down into 3 simple techniques which will help you count your opponent's Elixir. So first we're going to be going over one of the replays I had so you guys can see some of the techniques that I use, and then we'll hop into a match for a live demonstration. So the first technique is to take things simply. Elixir counting is just knowing the cost of each unit your opponent plays and subtracting that from their initial elixir at the start of the match. It's not complicated math or anything like that. So Clash Royale is a very fast-paced game. It can be hard to actually keep track of everything while you're in a match, so stick around for the other techniques to find ways to implement elixir counting in your own gameplay. Things may be hard at first, but with enough practice it becomes a natural instinct and you won't even have to put any thought into it. A lot of top players like me always know what elixir our opponent has, even without putting a second thought. The second technique is to actually give it a try. Hop into a few matches and try to be a little bit more aware of how much elixir your opponent has. Do some quick math in your head if you have to, and eventually you'll start to develop elixir counting as an instinct. Earlier on, it is a good idea to watch a few of your replays and see how much elixir your opponent had compared to what you thought they had during the match. Nobody can play perfect Clash Royale while doing math in their head, but the goal is to be able to eventually get the same feel for elixir without doing any math. A couple of bonus things to take note of are when your opponent drops a card late like a heavily delayed mini Pekka on your Hog rider, they're probably down in elixir or just have horrible Wi-Fi. When your opponent drops a card in the back after a match reset point where neither player plays anything, they are probably at 10 elixir. Noticing these little things can help you a lot with elixir counting. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions about elixir counting. You can also watch the video multiple times if needed. Now be ready for the third and possibly most important technique. So in the actual replay, you guys can see we're just absolutely wrecking him, knowing what he's going to play most of the time just based on his elixir. I think we do get a very nice King Tower activation here too against his bandit. Yeah, that was super nice for me. And by the way guys, we will hop into the third technique pretty soon here. Just want to kind of explain my thought process in this game. So yeah, we're always getting like positive elixir trades on defense with our princesses and stuff like that, and then going with our goblin barrels after that just to make sure we're not going to put ourselves in too bad of an elixir spot. So yeah, it's pretty hard for him to defend our barrels since we can always try to outcycle him pretty well, and we do have pretty good defense now that the King Tower got activated. So my thought process here was just to kind of defend and chuck a few barrels, maybe a few rockets here and there, and just kind of rely on my King Tower for the defense. I did go with my princess at the bridge right there. I did know he was pretty much the same elixir as me, but I kind of wanted to surprise him and was hoping he'd play his cannon cart all the way in the back instead of like right in the middle. I do go with my rocket on his tower there. I kind of knew he'd play like a dark prince or something like that in the back, so it worked out pretty fine for me since he had to wait a few seconds before actually applying the pressure on us. Normally I wouldn't rocket cycle that early, but I knew that our King Tower would kind of carry us. And this cannon cart does get awfully close to our tower. Luckily the cannon does come down in the last second though, so I was just barely able to defend nicely. I think I do go right in with another barrel right here just to get even more damage knowing he doesn't have any bar barreling cycle. And yeah, I guess right now we're just going to hop into the third and final technique. So the third and final technique is to actually use elixir counting to your advantage. You can be really aggressive when you have that 3 elixir for a goblin barrel and you know your opponent is at 0 elixir. A good example of this that I experienced recently was when an opponent played a ram rider behind his King Tower. He could have been bluffing his elixir, but with all of my practice counting elixir, I knew that we were just about even. So I had 2 choices. I could either rocket it and his tower for a hefty 591 damage, only taking a -1 elixir trade, or I could have went with my cannon on it for a +2 trade, but getting no damage on his tower. I decided to rocket it, and that ended up saving me the match, but all in all it was really just thanks to my elixir counting that I knew I could take the -1 trade at that point in the match. So essentially this technique is just here to show you that you should play differently based on if you are up or down in elixir at any given point. I see way too many people going for those negative trades or over aggressive pushes thinking they are up in elixir when they're actually already down a few, especially in mid-ladder. Okay, so now let's just hop into a live match so you guys can see me using these different techniques. Alright, so I just found a match right here. We're going to be running this really quick Logbait cycle deck. I feel like Logbait's a really good deck for counting elixir. Super nice to punish your opponents with when they're a little bit low on elixir. I'm not really too sure what this guy's playing. Pretty interesting deck seeing the Goblin game. But he did just waste a zap and quite a few other little things, so I'm going to go with my barrel right here, maybe get some pretty nice damage there. 1 Valkyrie swing as well. He does have Battle Ram here too. Could be a 3 Musketeer deck maybe. I'm going to go with my log right here. He obviously spent a lot of elixir on his minion horde and everything, but we we also had to spend a lot of Elixir on defense. And since we spent our barrel on offense earlier, I think we're probably down like maybe 3 Elixir or so. Not really 100% sure, but I kind of know roughly. So I'm going to kind of just wait here to see what he does. And yeah, I was pretty much right on his Elixir. I'm going to go with my barrel on his pump instead of like a rocket. Normally people go with a rocket on it, but I know we're down a few Elixirs, so I kind of just want to get the best trades we can. Because rocket is always a -1 Elixir trade on the Elixir collector. And I kind of want to save it for his 3 Musketeers as well. Seeing the pump, it probably will be a giant 3 Musketeer deck, like one of the more old school decks in Clash Royale. Shouldn't be too hard on defense here since we do have the rocket in hand, so that should be pretty nice for us. He does play his 3 Musketeers a little bit early right there. I think he meant to play it after our Princess locked on his tower, so should make those 3 pretty easy to deal with. Just going to go with my log right here. Honestly, we should be up in Elixir after this really good defense, but I think we're actually going to be probably even down a little bit just because of the Elixir collector on the field that he has there. It's really hard to count Elixir when they have like Elixir collectors on the board, so definitely going to be quite hard to actually know how much Elixir he'll have in this match, but I will have a general feel. He's going to have to spend that gang there on our Princess, I'll take it. And we do have quite a few counters to like his various stuff. We do have like the Fire Spirit and Princess for his minion horde, and like a few different counters to like the Goblin gang and stuff like that. I'm going to go with my barrel right here, should force out something. And yeah, he's definitely up a ton of Elixir right here. No need to really even say it, because you guys already can tell by all these pumps on the field that he's definitely going to be up a ton of Elixir. I'm going to go with a prediction log here, hopefully hitting his 3M. Yeah, perfect log. They're also going to hit the Elixir collector too, so that's a super good log. Really just the benefit of counting Elixir. I'm kind of doing it all in my head right now, so it's a little bit hard to actually commentate everything, but hope you guys can kind of get like a general sense of what I'm trying to do here. So we'll go with a pump right there. I'm going to probably try to go with my barrel on it. Can't really afford to spend my rocket right now since I'm quite low on Elixir. The goblins do get some nice damage from the pump though, so I'll definitely take that. And yeah, I'm probably just going to set up my Valkyrie in the back here. We always have the rocket for his 3M, and we have like the different splash units for his minion horde, so not really feeling too bad about the defense. I'm not even sure if I'll rocket these 3M, just because I know we're down a lot of Elixir, so we need to really just make sure we're defending as cheaply as we can. Okay, that Princess actually got so much damage in the right lane, so we really just need like a... Yeah, maybe this barrel should be able to take it, I think. Yeah, I think it will take it since he spent the minion horde. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!